Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with Chapter 2, The Intrigue of Mr. Bennet. The dining room at Longbourn. A tense, candlelit dinner. The clink of silverware against china is the only sound, punctuated by Mrs. Bennet's exaggerated, heavy-handed sighs. She is bursting with curiosity, her eyes darting between her husband and her daughters, waiting for him to break his silence. Mr. Bennet is enjoying his power. He has returned from his visit to Mr. Bingley, but he refuses to provide the information his wife is dying for. This is the masterstroke of his psychological control. By withholding the news, he turns the dinner table into his own personal theater. He knows that his silence is a torture device for Mrs. Bennet, and he relishes the anticipation. Elizabeth watches her father with a knowing smile. She is the only one who truly understands his game, recognizing the irony in his behavior. She is amused by his refusal to succumb to the social pressure that rules everyone else in the room. In the drawing room, post-dinner, Mrs. Bennet, no longer able to contain herself, begins to lob thinly veiled questions at her husband. She is desperate to know if he has met Mr. Bingley and, more importantly, if he has secured an introduction for their daughters. The air is thick with irritation. Mrs. Bennet's nerves are again at the forefront of the conversation. Her lack of self-awareness is on full display. She complains about her husband's lack of cooperation while unknowingly providing him with more material to mock. It is a brilliant display of domestic frustration, highlighting the stark intellectual gap between the two heads of the household. Mr. Bennet remains unflappable, turning her desperate inquiries back on her with dry, sarcastic wit. He pretends to be unimpressed by the newcomer, describing Mr. Bingley with a detachment that drives Mrs. Bennet to the brink of a breakdown. The fireplace, where the family is gathered. Mr. Bennet finally drops the facade. He leans forward, his tone shifting from mockery to a measured, deliberate delivery of the truth. The tension snaps when Mr. Bennet reveals that he has indeed met Mr. Bingley, and that the young man is coming to the next public assembly. The revelation sends a shockwave through the room. The girls' excitement is electric, a stark contrast to their mother's manic, almost frantic triumph. For a moment, the family unit is united in its focus on the prize, the bachelor from Netherfield. Jane is serene and hopeful, Lydia and Kitty are already planning their outfits, dreaming of officers and balls. Mary remains stoic, focused on her books. It is a moment of fragile, collective aspiration, with Elizabeth's watchful, skeptical eyes grounded in the reality of the situation. The hallway, as the family retreats for the night. The echoes of the conversation linger. Mrs. Bennet is already mapping out the future, unaware that she is a pawn in her husband's social experiment. The chapter ends on a note of calculated manipulation. Mr. Bennet has set the board, and now the pawns are moving exactly as he expected. He is not just a father, he is a director of the comedy unfolding in his own home. He has ensured that the upcoming assembly will be the stage for the next act of his play, indifferent to the chaos it will inevitably bring to his daughters' lives. Mr. Bennet in his study, closing his book and blowing out a candle. The room plunges into shadow, symbolizing his detached, silent dominance over the house. Mr. Bennet holds the strings, but his wife is the one pulling them toward disaster. Is his mocking behavior a defense mechanism against a life he finds unbearable, or is he merely cruel to the family he is responsible for protecting? Ready for the ball? Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to ensure you don't miss our next breakdown of the Meryton Assembly. Drop your theories in the comments, and click Next Chapter to witness the night that changes everything.